I could do like I did during our Halloween special the other night with Matthew. As soon as he pressed record, I said, "Hang on, I got to poop," and Tommy left that in. It was funny. Whatever.
Out in the woods, shadows creep slow. Footprints deep where no man should go. Cold winds howl through hollers and brooks. Whispers of Bigfoot in the way it looks. Myths, monsters, and bullets in the night. Under a pale moon, strange glowing light. Truth out there like a blade it cuts. Myths, monsters, and bullets run amok.
Welcome back to Myths, Monsters, and Mullets, the show where the strange, the unexplained, and the weird take center stage, and where the people behind the encounters matter just as much as the encounters themselves. We're not just here to talk about what was seen, we're here to understand who saw it, how it changed them, and why it still matters. Before we dive in, I want to give a quick shout out to our supporters over on Patreon. If you want to help keep the show independent, ad-free, and unapologetically weird, head on over to Patreon, search for Myths, Monsters, and Mullets. You're going to find members-only episodes, early access to the public episodes, and bonus material you won't see or hear anywhere else. If you've had an encounter, or you've seen something weird you've just never been able to explain, I want to hear from you. Email me at mythsandmullets@gmail.com. That's mythsandmullets@gmail.com. Your experience can be featured on a future episode. Don't forget to mark your calendars. June 6th, 2026, I'll be speaking at the Arkansas Cryptid Fest in North Little Rock, Arkansas. If you're into cryptids, folklore, listening to great speakers, that's where you need to be. It's put on by Drunken Cryptids. That's North Little Rock, Arkansas on June 6th, 2026. Don't forget to subscribe, like, leave us a review, share the show with a friend who lives for the unexplained. I really would appreciate it. And with that, let's get on with the show. Well, welcome back to Myths, Monsters, and Mullets. I am your host, John Methenkamp. On tonight's show, we have JD from Chumming with the Spirits. He's been on the show quite a few times, talking about a variety of subjects, and sometimes we didn't even have subjects. Just come on and talk. But tonight, we're going to look over some evidence that they had gotten from the Sally House and things like that. JD, why don't you introduce yourself to my audience that hasn't heard of you before?
I'm JD, as John said, with Chumming with the Spirits. I have a podcast with two other co-hosts, Parachum and OG. We're out of the greater Kansas City area. We generally cover a wide range of topics. We used to be an investigation group, moved over into podcasting. We still do investigations when we get the opportunities. I think it was on our last episode, we were talking about a few things. I think it was a live. We're talking about, evidence and some of the stuff. And I thought this would be a good time to hop on and show. We had just updated our website, cwtspodcast.com. We added a tab because Parachum's been doing this for almost 20 years. And part of the group that we're a part of kind of dissolved, and some of that evidence is now up on our website. Ones I'm going to show are the ones that I was directly involved with, but we have others. And as we get more and more, we probably have 20 plus hours of camera footage to still go through from the second time we're at the Sally House. So we generally run a 8 camera setup, an investigation. The ones we do are generally overnight, so you start at 3 to 4 and you're running until 3 in the morning. So you got 12 hours per camera. I mean, it takes a lot. And we've actually, one of the pieces of evidence I'll show was actually found by Raven from Darkwoods Paranormal, who was on the first investigation at the Sally House, because we missed it. It going through all the stuff, we hit some hot spots and missed paying close attention. But it's mainly to, open your audience up to some of the. I know you do a lot, you Bigfoot and cryptids, and you've had your own paranormal experiences. Um, Sometimes people forget that we're doing it to capture evidence. The experiences are nice. I mean, there's to me, when you do investigations, you got three type. You have a personal investigation, which if you get a chance, Dustin Perry does a spiritual tour investigation, and that's more for personal. You're going in there, you're not using technology, and you're seeing things move, hear EVPs or actual disembodied voices. And then you have the evidence where you're trying to prove something, where you have to use scientific method, and that gets pretty long and drawn out. PRI is another group of our friends that they're doing that. They're trying to do scientific methods to prove the afterlife and that these hauntings are either intelligence or residual. And then we have what we do, podcast slash TV shows. Somewhat entertainment. We do try to capture as much evidence as possible. Um, you know, uh, a cat ball or a geophone, as Pearchum likes to call them.
Cat balls?
Yeah, they're neat looking. They're good indication. It's like the K2 meter. They light up. Um, they're not very scientific because, like, I mean, you can have a lot of stuff affect them, stomp up and down on the ground, or somebody kicks one, or minor vibrations here and there. The K2 can be set off by cell phones, radio transmitters. When you start getting into the static ones and the REM pods, where you have to get close to the antenna, that gets a little more tangible. But still, unless you have a recording device, a camera, or a way to pick up how strong that field is, it's not very scientific, but at least gives you visual representation. And I'm afraid that's probably going to go away pretty quickly because of the way AI is coming out, which our good friend Tommy and Matt are launching a brand new channel. Um, was it Spectre
Spectre and Beast
911? And they're
Yeah.
going to be going through. I actually just had another paranormal group send me a photo. He is analyzing. It looks like they captured a apparition up in the balcony. I'm having him go through it to see if he can debunk it, or it almost to me looked like a black and white standee, but they're like there was nothing up there, so
Wow.
he's going through that. But yeah, so
Yeah,
so
AI is going to ruin basically any evidence from here on out that's visual or even audio. I mean,
yeah,
my intro, your intro, Matt's intro, that was all done by AI. It sounds like somebody singing.
yeah.
And
Well, I think this is what Tommy and Matthew kind of hopped on. We're going to see more of that because you're going to have the debunking of the videos more prevalent than what it was before, and it's not just watching it. They have the software to look for the tags from that AI leaves. They're also looking for any editing and cuts and splices. So it's going to be a new day and age.
yeah. Yeah, I mean it was nice back in like the 90s when you know, effects had to be practical. You not unless you had deep pockets
Yeah.
to be able to
Well,
afford, the studios and stuff to be able to fake stuff,
the
you know.
the thermal cameras from the 80s and 90s were like 15-pound units, and they were like $15,000 back because they're original FLIRs off of helicopters.
Right.
Um, yeah, you didn't, and it's like 480 by four. Well, yeah, 480 by 480 or 480 by 640 resolution. You watch it now, you're like, how did they see that? That's just all pixels.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like watching Nintendo.
Yeah. But I remember when it came out, I was like, oh man, that's so crystal clear. Our
Yeah.
monitors weren't that high resolution either back then. So,
Right. Right. People take that for granted now. And they see some of the old footage and stuff. It's like, oh, would they use a potato? No, they used what they had at the time, you know. So
you want me to share my screen and kind of walk through some of the videos on the,
yeah, we can do that.
or let me, So you can find us at cwtspodcast.com. That's our website. This that we're going to be watching right now is on our first video of the evidence page. This is the Sally house. This is the main bathroom by the kitchen. The other bathroom is upstairs. So most people end up using this one where you're there. That lock right there is to the basement. That is an off limits area. They no longer allow it. Now, you can tell this video is a little bit longer. I'm going to, that way we don't have to play it for very long. I'll play it through and let you, then I'll replay it and explain what's going on. Do that one more time.
I will say it's a lot easier to see here than it was on my phone.
Yes.
Oh, wow.
So what you're hearing is me actually walking in to the front door. I had to leave to go pick up some items. Larry was upstairs, and I ended up walking around the corner, saw the door was open. I yelled up to Larry, I go, "Do you use the bathroom?" He's like, "No, I've been up here doing a live." We had Tommy review it, and he blew it up. He believes that when you have it real high resolution, he thinks that doorknob turns. You actually hear the click. Then you hear me come through the door, and that door swings open. I can play it one more time to let you guys see if you can hear it. Hear the click, and then the door opens.
So I'm gonna play devil's advocate for just a moment.
Yep.
Is there a window in that bathroom?
No. So where that bathroom is actually underneath the stairs. What I thought, I'm not a small guy. Larry makes me look like a small guy, and he was upstairs. I'm like, okay, Larry, parachum, run up and down the steps. So they're very narrow steps too. If you had to, you could throw your arms out and catch yourself on the walls. He runs up and down the steps, and he doesn't go very fast. I shut the door. I go, well, hold on. I run up and down. I jump up and down in front of the door at one point. It doesn't happen again. So
I was thinking you walked in the door.
Yes.
And maybe created like some kind of vacuum force.
Yeah, we went
pulled air through a window or something.
Yeah, there's nothing in that's the kitchen. There are windows and a back door, but they're all closed. This is actually, we're in the pre setup. We just got our cameras set up. This is probably, what is that, 5, almost 6 o'clock in the evening. It's still daylight out. We're setting up. Like I said, I ran in to go get drinks for everybody, came back, and I walk around like, geez, Parachum, you can't shut the door after you use the bathroom?
Well, maybe it stunk.
Yeah. Well, I just figured maybe it was a polite ghost opened the door for us to, figured one of us maybe need to have to pee.
Right. That's nice of them.
So this is the video here that Raven from Darkwood's Paranormal caught.
When you have that light over. All right. And you can go into the chair you're at. You okay? Yes. Okay. I'm gonna get right here. Okay.
Oh yeah, that was weird.
Yeah. See if I can zoom in a little bit for you.
You click that box down there and make it full screen.
When you have that light over. All right. And you can go into the chair you're at. You okay? Yes. Okay.
Oh yeah, that is weird.
Yeah. Let me do full. And like, what's weird about this for me, because like we all watched this. She's the one that caught it.
And you can go into the chair you're at. You okay? Yes. Okay.
Oh, wow.
It actually goes into the middle of the room.
Yeah, it's like it didn't continue. It just kind of stopped.
Yep.
And you can go into the chair you're at. You okay? Yes. Okay.
Oh, wow.
So what was happening what you hear talking is OG, Raven, and Gabriel. Gabriel had just got his thigh rubbed in the master bedroom, and OG's asked him, "Are you okay?" You know,
Did you say he got his eye rubbed?
No, thigh.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like the ghost was like, "Hey there, how you doing?"
Yeah. And he was probably a little embarrassed and ended up leaving the room. Whoops. So yeah, it's our web page. But come down to that was the door, the nurseries. This is where you're going to say,
yes, everybody knows I do not like orbs. Let me see that again. That's weird because it did leave a trail.
Yeah, that's the this is the one. So what we didn't we need to extend this one a little bit longer. So they just smelled something on that wall. They thought they were seeing or smelling fragrances. And this is the I'm gonna have to blow that one up. Hold on. This one's quick.
Yeah.
The reason, so there's no airflow in this house, and it cuts back.
Right.
They're weird because of the trails on them, and we have one that has a ton of them in there. But they're interesting. We end up getting way more orbs. We hit the bed, we hit the carpet, we tried everything we could to get the dust to come up, and we couldn't get it done. We have other evidence we haven't put up yet because there's a point in time where we have Gabriel on the bed, and there's a shadow behind him. Of course, the IR lights, and there's a point in time that the shadow looks like it moves, and it gets picked up as an individual person. It was creepy. Can't really prove anything because we can't tell if it's your eyes playing a trick with you. That's another one we had to send off to Tommy to see if he can put markers in to see if it moves or not, or is it just a pixelated issue. So most of the stuff we have on here are just pretty easy to see. No question about it. There's something there. Whether or not what it is up to debate, but it's easy to see. It's not need to be reviewed. So this.
Can you use your energy?
So this is in Ellenwood, Kansas. We're in the library. We just walked out of the saloon.
Can you use your energy to get close to it?
So that's me going, I'll play it again. I unfortunately, it's as loud as it can go, but it's right about.
Can you use your energy?
Right around here. You can barely hear it. So,
can you use your energy
real
to get
faint.
Close to it?
Wasn't that faint when I was holding the camera. It was like it was almost right behind me.
I'm gonna have to play it when I can turn my speakers up and not get a bunch of feedback on my microphone.
Yep. So we heard that, walked back into the bar, refilmed everything to see if we could catch anything because we had some K2 and a millimeter going off in the bar, and it just died down. And we left, and we walked out. We were going to do an EVP session in here, and we got audible. Not you hear me say you heard a whistle, right? And then after we do the bar again, nothing really is going on. We come walking back out,
I heard that one.
And then we found out that bar. So the underground part of it is tunnels underneath the sidewalks, go across the street, connected all the shops and that. And Ellenwood was at one point in time a cowboy town. So they had a lot of cattle traffic and all that. And so you have a lot of mud and all the manure that comes from the cattle. So a lot of the cowboys, they would have them go down in the tunnels. So they weren't on the streets, making a mess, getting, public drunkenness. Cause they literally had bars and saloons, all that other stuff. Well, one of the things that got mentioned that we didn't hear, it was a mini interview. The Cowboys used to whistle at the bartenders when they had a shot of whiskey.
Okay.
And I was like, oh man, had I known that, I would have poured out some shots of whiskey out there for them. At least had one with them. But that's what I think was happening. Was maybe not intelligence, might be residual. But as we left, they were whistling to get a hold of our attention because we just walked out of the saloon and they just didn't get their whiskey.
Right. I'd be mad too. Stuck in a bar, nobody to serve me.
Yeah, you can't. You can't get the drink that you want.
Right.
And then we have other EVPs. Now, all these are Parachum was personally there. Same with Harris Kearney is actually in Kansas City. This location is where OG, me, and Parachum actually first all met and started doing investigations together. But
oh wow,
yeah, been almost 10 years now. COVID kind of slowed everything down. But
you put up with them guys for 10 years?
I know it's weird. You run into the COVID kind of slowed everything down. So we were trying to do we had the investigation group and we were trying to do documentaries for true folklore stories. Like, there's a devil chair up in Kirksville, Missouri, which is about an hour and a half away from where we're at. There's the Stoll Cemetery in Lawrence, Kansas, which is known as one of the gates to hell. And then there's a Devil's Den cave in southeastern Kansas that we're trying to do documentation. And we had a whole bunch of misfortunes or curses, however you look at it. And then COVID hit. And then with COVID, almost all the places that we used to go investigate just shut down, because you had to keep, distance and all that. And just trying to think, we had talked about doing stuff because we get together and have a few drinks. And that's where the podcast really came from, was we're sitting around telling all the stuff that we've done together. Or you remember this time, or, well, we were, Larry's done Melbourne Manor, the Garnet House, pretty much every location in the area he's been at least once, if not multiple times. And he's, unfortunately, like some of our best evidence you never catch on camera. We're just lucky for the ones we have. And then we started the podcast because of that. We're like, we should probably, then you get weird people on the internet hit you up in like November.
Wait, you hit me up.
Well, that was OG.
OG started it. That's right. He found me on TikTok. And then it all went downhill from there.
Yes, it went downhill from there. I can't complain. The group of podcasters I have met through you and Matt and Alan and Chris Darkwood, you got to do an interview with them. Just ghost gossip. Me and her Ashley talk quite a bit. I've gotten her a few interviews with some local investigation people down here, Penn Paranormal, Let's Go Girls. They just formed a new group called Google Friends. They do lives on Friday or Mondays at 7. We're getting ready to do some events. We're 2026. We're probably going to have a lot more events. We just released our new coloring book for the podcast. It's all 3 of us. We're going to do some coloring book haunted locations events. So we'll be doing coloring books. We'll get a custom coloring book, custom coloring pens. We'll do a pizza party at a haunted location, and then do the investigation overnight. So we've gotten a lot of feedback We got 2 events already planned. One of them's already sold out, so I'm not even gonna. When we do the event, there'll be a live broadcast from podcast from that event, interviewing people that are there. Hopefully, to be able to interview the owner of the place we're going. There'll be more of that coming out shortly. We just want to make sure we have everything buttoned up. We looked out in Kansas where we're at, or we're right on the Kansas-Missouri border. There are hundreds of haunted locations. Most of them do tours now. I mean, the Sally House, which is from 1993, the Sightings TV show. There is the McIntyre Villa, which is owned by Stephanie Riley. It is a beautiful. If you were just to go to see how beautiful this house is, it's worth it. But it's pretty active. They're constantly getting EVPs down in the basement. OG and Rick Park's son Nathan, I believe. See, Nathan or Jordan. They literally saw a shadow figure walk through right in front of them. They both saw it. Of course, they didn't have a camera. And then you
So
got
it's a bullshit story.
yeah, cool story, bro. And then
And for the listeners, that's OG's thing. If you don't have it on tape or on film, it's a bullshit story. So
it's love the man. I cannot get him to hold a camera to save his life.
well, and then whenever he sees something,
Yep.
you're like, cool story, bro. It's a bullshit story.
Yeah. It's I find it funny because I mean, when you're in the heat of the moment and you got stuff and activity going on, people don't realize. Well, and that's why we get into that's a personal experience. If you're trying to capture evidence, you need a third person, if not a fourth person with a camera, preferably somebody that doesn't believe in this stuff because they're not going to get so enthralled on what's going on that they drift the camera away or put it down.
Well, I don't know, because if their worldview changes at that moment,
Yeah,
the last thing they're going to be thinking about is making sure I get this on film.
Because when you get touched, or EVPs are creepy when you play them back. It's another thing when you hear it with your ears. You're like, because those whistles, they seem faint. To me, I literally thought somebody was like 10 foot right behind me that whistled.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and that's what threw me off was I thought our microphones were pretty good. I was the one with the camera. And I don't know if it's just because the microphone was going the other way. I heard that crystal clear the first time. And I was surprised how low it is on the camera. The second time's louder. But we went through the tunnels. There was nobody down there. Went up, checked with Parachum up top. And he's like, it wasn't loud enough for him to hear it. He heard us talking, but couldn't hear the whistle. Shadow creatures or shadows on the wall. That me and Parachum have talked about that when he's had on video had his bathroom or bedroom door get closed. That's on our TikTok and YouTube, which I just realized he doesn't have that on our evidence page. And then I made the gaffe of grabbing my phone and stopped recording when my microphones went dead, and we had a shadow show up and ran down the hallway.
I think they do it on purpose. They make you do something so you turn the cameras off.
Yeah. And we had that discussion. I truly think there is something to that if you're filming, like it's like watching water boil. If you're watching it, it's never going to boil. Same with toast. The minute you turn your head, that's when the stuff happens. And then, another theory is the more you talk about it, we have, even in OG's house, we've had stuff happen that they're seeing, and it's just on the other side of the camera. Like, and they're, trying to get other cameras. For a while there, we used to film with a secondary camera outside in the rec area so we could try to capture anything going on.
Yeah. Yeah. I think all this stuff is related, whether it's ghosts, cryptids, UFOs, because you hear the same things from, investigators in all these fields. Oh, it was just off camera. It was behind me. Batteries died. That's a big one. Batteries dying.
Well, that first
or just a malfunction. How many times do you have corrupted files?
Yeah.
during an investigation.
Well, that first Sally House investigation, we tried to upload. There's a short, like 2-minute video of me and Parachum going, "Hey, sorry about our video not uploading. The file's corrupted. We were trying to upload it from the Sally House. It was not a bright idea to try to upload it from the Sally House." And then we had battery drain horrible, to the point that I had phones weren't charging. Like we had them plugged in and they were taking forever to charge with the fast charger. And what was weird about it was I was running around trying to, put new batteries and stuff. We went through like 6 or 7 9 volts and I don't know how many double A's. I was so busy just trying to keep things running that I was totally forgetting about, oh, this is evidence. I probably should be capturing.
Yeah.
You
And people hear that and they see it on the shows and stuff like that. Until you actually experience battery drain that doesn't make sense, it shouldn't happen like that. It should not happen. That we had cameras die, 35, 40 minutes before they should have, because I've fully tested the cameras
Yep.
even the night before to
Yeah,
find out how long they would last on one charge.
yeah.
And
We had a brand new IR
yeah,
handheld that would last 3 hours, and it lasted 30 minutes.
wow.
It drained it that fast. I ended up having I carry around their Harbor Freight spotlights, but they double as a battery charger because you charge it up. It also has a USB. I had it plugged in like that just to keep enough juice in it. Now, hindsight's 2020. That may have been why we were getting so many orbs and weird anomalies, is we were just pumping the whole house full of batteries. The second time we went, we didn't have near as much battery drainage as we had. Still got, what do you
Well, I mean, there's one way to get around battery drainage is you've got to bring like Chris Goins with you, and he can just draw everything
Yeah,
as it happens.
that's what happens. I At some point in time, I would love to do an epic crossover of all of us in a very large and very active location. Just if I can get everybody to carry a facial camera, like the IR camera I have has a. I didn't even, when I bought it, I didn't realize it has a camera facing back, so it records you as it's recording out. The video of people is way funnier without the evidence.
Right.
But no, it's been a pretty wild thing because, like, what for me, you started, our group started, Matthew started about the same time. Cryptids of Corn been doing a little bit longer, so is Alan and Chris. But actually, Dark Woods Paranormal started about the same time as we did. We ended up meeting them at the beginning of the year, and it's weird because it's barely been a year. This February will be a year for us knowing Darkwoods. November will be a year knowing you, and it seems like we've known each other for decades. It seems like, same with Matt. I met Matt July whenever they did their live show with Cryptids of Corn.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I'd introduced you guys through like TikTok and stuff. So
Yeah,
but as
the
far
first
as
time I
meeting
got to
in
meet him
person,
personally. Yeah, personally.
yeah.
And Tommy. Well, and that was the other thing. We had met Tommy and Nicole because they were following us before I ever got to talk to Matt. They had hopped on the lives, got us banned a couple times. That was mainly Nicole.
Yeah. Yeah, that one live, I'm like, stop.
Well, she didn't beat Parachum's record of like 2 minutes and 5 seconds, and they shut. Like, I couldn't even get on fast enough, and he had us shut down. So, the fun's of being a podcaster on TikTok.
Yeah, I've kind of stepped away from TikTok. I don't know if you've noticed.
Yeah, I'll be honest. Thank you for pitching Riverside. We use Riverside solely for we've backed off our lives recently. We are going to start bringing them back in. We're doing a new campaign of we're trying to be more local. Like, a lot of people don't realize that we're from Kansas City. We have a lot of locations around, so we're going to start doing lives again from local locations in the area. Try to promote, similar to what Matthew has been doing with Old Bart's and some dark side coffee and North Little Rock. Oh, by the way, my mounts finally showed up. I haven't opened the box yet because I didn't have time to film anything.
Oh, your
So
mounts
yeah,
from Elite Mounts.
my elite mounts finally, and not their fault. UPS screwed up. They held them, got it lost in Kansas City, and because they were supposed to show up last Monday, and then they ended up showing up like Thursday. I had a whole bunch of stuff going on over the weekend, but can't wait to open that up and review it and put that up on the wall.
Yeah.
But welcome back with Chum with the Spirits and John Fight.
Hope you enjoyed that commercial break.
Yeah. We can just, I still need to get you that. Did we get you the video for our Chum Bucket and all that?
Yeah. Yeah, I've got that. I was going to upload that the same week as this, but that's going to still be pushing February right now.
No, that's fine.
So, yeah.
5 years later. And I would like to say congratulations again. Over 1,000 YouTube subscribers. You made it to Ohio Bigfoot Jamboree 2. You have booked all the way to the end of the year. You are fighting for slots for next year of what you're going to do because you're just so popular. I mean, you're already booked for the Arkansas Bigfoot Fest.
Cryptid Fest. Arkansas Cryptid Fest. We will both be speakers at the Arkansas Cryptid Fest. Have you decided what you're going to be talking about yet?
Yes and no. Depends on if we get another crack at a investigation for Bigfoot or / cryptids. So currently, I have a weird record. I have gone looking for Bigfoot, found a weird owl, probably inbred. I'm not sure, but it sounded really weird. Parachum.
Was it in Arkansas?
It was in Arkansas. Parachum had a spectral shadow creature come after him. Him and 2 other people saw it while we're looking for Bigfoot. So I didn't see a Bigfoot. They had tons of eye shine. That's actually where Matthew has came up with some of his theories, because we were there with Drunken Cryptids and his whole research team. Everybody was phenomenal. Had a great time. But we had more paranormal stuff happen. Like we came looking for Bigfoot, and we didn't bring half of our equipment. So hopefully we're going to do another outing in that same location. I'll bring all my paranormal stuff on my IR cameras and, get them set up and see if we can capture, our REM pods, K2 meters. Then we went to UFO days with Darkwood up in Elmwood, which we're going to be back there again. It's always the last weekend of July. Ooh. Yeah, June. He's June. I was just thinking about New Orleans.
Right, what we were talking about earlier, yeah.
So we went out and was UFO looking, and I get to see orbs that are so bright that they're like, oh, they're probably fireflies. I'm like, I thought it was a car. I thought it was a car driving in the field. And then I realized it's the middle of the field and the road's another, 2 miles up. And I'm like, and then we caught more orbs off to the side going through the trees. And I'm like, so UFOs is orbs, Bigfoot shadow creatures, and weird owls. I guess I need to go to a haunted location in the middle of the woods.
Go to a woods looking for ghosts.
Yes,
and maybe you'll find Bigfoot.
Yeah, rock paper scissors, Sasquatch, ghosts, UFOs.
Yeah.
But we're looking at doing more investigations, getting out. We definitely want to do more collaborations, with people like you. Conversations that we always have is astounding. And as you interview more and more people and they have more experiences and more theories, that's what I've really enjoyed. I'm a history buff. So I'm in New Orleans right now. I've done it was the Witch's Brew tours, which I highly recommend. Chris Praley, I think is how you say his name, was the tour guide. Did vampires, voodoos, and crimes. I've also done a haunted pub crawl down here. If you get a chance to come to New Orleans, it's steeped with history and the architecture in the French Quarter. Of course, it's been burned down twice. Still fairly old. I'm heading to York, Pennsylvania in another week, which is about an hour and a half from Gettysburg. So I'll be making another stop in Gettysburg, trying to do some tours there, hopefully some personal investigations. That's just me on my own soloing. I got to get some koozies out there and get some photos for some friends.
Right, right. If I had a chumming with the spirits koozie,
We're we're trying to rectify that. I mean,
I'm
it
just
it'd at
saying.
least be. I'd love to see a picture of that at the Greasy Pickle.
Right,
Yeah.
right. When you coming back to my neck of the woods?
You know what's there's a chance I may be in your neck of the woods middle of December. I'm gonna find out probably in about a week and a half. If that's the case, I'll probably come down for a weekend ahead of it, or I'll work with you because I definitely would like to hang out at the Greasy Pickle, maybe do a live, commemorate the last time we're there. And
Well, we'll talk about this off air, but if we know ahead of time, well ahead of time, maybe it's something that we could set up with them.
oh yeah,
Maybe
actually inform them they would like to do some actual event for them and
right,
get their name out.
right. We could
Yeah,
try that.
I'm always open to that. And like we're hoping to do some live shows, live podcasts with some other like-minded people. We just hit 26,000. We're trying to subscribers on YouTube. We're trying to get an event set up for December 13th. We originally had a brewery. They ended up closing. Like they're like, you know what? We're not gonna be able to make it. We're closing this Friday. And we're like, oh, okay. So the brewery I normally would use, they have something planned for that evening already. Where we did our first, it was supposed to be a 15K. We ended up having like 19K by the time we did the party. We hit capacity at over 40 for that event. That was the one with Darkwoods and Matthew both came down. We did the Sally House the second time, and they spoke during the event, which was amazing. Would have loved to had you there, but you're all reserved out. You don't have the time or the effort to be able to come out help us with small guys out. Um,
Whatever. Mr. 26K.
um, but we're trying to get something in December. We have the coloring events in January. We're actually going back to the Beast of Bray Road. That is November 15th. That weekend, we have to reach out to Doosterbeck's Brewery. That's where our first live podcast ever happened. Hopefully they'll be open to having us back. I don't think they threw us out. But some of the beers was amazing. Darkwood is there. I think they're about 3 hours away or 4 hours away. They're going to meet us there. Actually do some promotional pictures. So we realized we didn't get out and take pictures of ourselves at the Beast of Bray Road. We took some at the Bigfoot Park and Bigfoot Shores, which is named after an Indian in the area. But we're really, well, that was November. That was right around when we talked to you.
Yeah.
Was the beginning of our official podcast, doing something as a group going out. So that's November 15th. Do you have any big events coming up that we need to know about? That way we can support you. And
Not anything set in stone. So I'm not going to put anything out there yet.
nice.
This will be coming out though in February. So all your November stuff and December stuff probably.
Well, they're going to watch this, and we may do it again in the following November. It's
That's true. That's
we're
true.
creatures of habit.
This is called podcast time travel.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Time slips and portals.
Right.
Check out our episode.
Yeah. As of right now, for what's going to happen after this airs, right now the only thing I have scheduled is Matthew's event, Arkansas Cryptid Fest. So
Also, if you do get something besides when I'm out there, if you ever set something up in your local area, please reach out. I will be 100%. If I am available, I will be there with my mullet on, waving. Myth Monsters and Mullet flag if you ever get one.
I have
Same,
one.
yeah. You have one? You don't have one yet?
No, I do.
Eh,
It's right,
I
it's
don't.
hanging behind me.
I don't see it on the website.
Well, I got to have a website first.
Oh, we can talk about that off air.
Okay. We'll talk about that
And
off
then
air.
same with Alan and Chris. It was great meeting them again. I got to meet them down in Arkansas, and then seeing them again in Ohio Bigfoot Jamboree 2. Looking forward to that again next year. Chris is working on some drawings for us for some similar T-shirt ideas and logo updates and that. Talented
I
man.
will say this: you're going to see them again at the Arkansas
Well, that's true.
Cryptid
Yeah.
Fest.
Yeah, we're all
Because
kind
I
of
can
like
say this in this recording because it'll be past when this official word comes out. They are going to be guest speakers as well.
sweet. Because I got to figure out something like if only we were closer. But the one we need to talk to Ghost Gossip, Ashley, and see because she's wanted to come out to Kansas City because she's now met all the investigators I've had her interview. They're not that far away. Like maybe we could talk them to come out to do that, like you were saying, like a week. Head up to the Garnett House, head up to the Sally House. There's a ton of Bigfoot locations in the area. I realized so I've been to Fouke. Just the Boggy Creek, Legend Boggy Creek's one of my favorite. It holds up to the test of times.
What was that face?
Oh, I would watch it again. There's a eerie 70s porno theme
Right.
feel when you watch it.
Yeah.
Like Mr. Johnson was a little creepy when we wanted to check in on people, but that film, we did a horrible podcast on that one because that's back when our equipment wasn't that great audio and we're still figuring stuff out. But people don't realize that came out in 1972. It was a creature, Legend of Bog Creek. They never called it Bigfoot. It was the
Right.
Fouke Monster. People don't realize 1967 is when the Patterson Gimli film came out, or with Patsy as they named her because it seems to be a female Sasquatch. That was 1967. So
Right.
you're talking like 5 years later to have this stuff going on in Fouke, and then we've done Ape Canyon, which is kind of I'm the ghost guy, but I've I've been to a lot of cryptid locations. I just haven't seen one yet. Seen the
Well,
cast.
you get people that they search for Bigfoot for 20, 30 years and never see them. And
You
then you
get the
get
guy
some,
standing around the corner and he sees five of
right.
them.
Most of the encounters are when you're not looking for them. So I always say, if you want to see Bigfoot, don't go looking for him. Just go out into the woods and be yourself.
I'm afraid I'm gonna find whatever you saw. I'm just saying, I'm gonna be looking.
Well, have you heard the 911 call out in
Yes.
North Carolina?
Yeah,
That dude saw the exact same thing I did.
I know. You were talking about that. Well, and you briefly talked about it on
That live we did.
on the live, and like when you had told me what you had saw and all that. That's what I thought when I was like, holy cow!
Yeah.
And then they did the extended one with the interview of the guy when he really gets into what he was seeing, not just the playing of the 911. And it
Right. That's where he actually described it. Was when in the somebody actually interviewed him and described what he saw, and it's literally the same thing I saw last November.
And I'll be honest, I always thought the rake was a tupla, kind of like the Slender Man, but they're called pale skins or
Pale crawlers.
pale crawlers are way older than that. And I dogmen, werewolves, and I'm like, oh, that's and the
Well,
more I
I will
get
tell you, I'm going to tell you what my topic is going to be for my presentation, and it's going to be rebranding, because I think a lot of these cryptids are just rebrands of cryptids of like they've been around for a lot longer. They've just been rebranded, such as the rake. Everybody thinks all the rakes started with the creepypasta. No, it didn't. There was Pale Crawlers, Dover Demon, things like that.
Person that you've interviewed, Brian Goddard, who's a minor cryptid himself. He's got Bigfoot with a paintball gun, and then he can get a T-shirt. Me and him had a great discussion, of course, not on camera, about dogmen. When he started getting into, well, if you look at Anubis, the hybrids, and I was like, you know what? I have never really thought about that, but they're from Egypt, and we're talking what 5,000 years ago.
Yeah, I think Marco Polo talked about a whole island of them.
Yeah,
and then
so I mean,
there was supposedly a whole civilization over in India of them, but they weren't called dogmen.
no. Well, then there's Indian stories of gods coming down and messing around with monkey men. Then there's other versions. Like it is weird when you start getting into the history books of how things got started. But that was Brian Goddard from Cryptid Paranormal. He just started a podcast. Amazing person. If you have a chance, check him out. You've interviewed him. I'm trying to get another interview set up. Like we did an interview in a hotel room, kind of like somebody else I know. And the audio was just so horrible. I'm going to have to redo it. So I'm always
maybe stop doing interviews in hotel rooms. I think it's not. I think you're just trying to get dudes in the hotel rooms with you.
$20 is $20.
When this airs, I'm going to be releasing some video that JD and I did in May of last year. The audio got kind of screwed up. It took some time getting it worked out, but I'm going to release it as a special episode. So some of the stuff we talk about is dated, but it was funny. And
I'm gonna be
JD got
honest.
me into a hotel room. I'm just saying.
I'm thinking maybe that should be an annual event. We just pick random hotels and we just, and have random talks,
while drinking Pabst Light.
Dude, that's one of my favorite canned beers. I'm not lying. I still buy it. It's nice, refreshing, and if you can get a sponsor, please do.
Yeah, so I'm hoping, because see, I got my new sign back here. Picked that up over the weekend. So, hint, hint, PBR.
We're also
a new sponsor by this point.
Yeah, I'm trying need to reach out to Buffalo Trace, and one of my favorites is Eagle Rare 10-year. But you got to have hobbies besides what we do, right?
Right.
Sponsors would help out to make us be able to do this more often.
Right.
Even in the same room at one point in time.
Yeah. If I hit that Mega Millions or whatever's up to 700 or 800 million right now, we'll see a lot of each other.
Yeah. Yeah. If I hit it, there's going to be some major podcasting studios built up around, and if not a mobile one.
Yeah. Yep.
I think that's ultimate. Or everybody that I've talked to, like if we could do this full time, we definitely would hop at the opportunity. So definitely check out Chumming with the Spirits, CWDSpodcast.com. We have our merch on there. Buy t-shirts similar to what I'm wearing. I'm getting ready to start doing the hats on the website. Well, we just updated our logo. So we'll be having some stuff on sale to get rid of our older styles, the OG t-shirts that we had done. We're going to be at conventions all over the place, definitely in Arkansas. If you have the time and you are near, because this should release before
it will
the feast, the festival. Should be a great time to see all of us. We're probably having more people show up in our circle if we can by that time. But for speakers, it's going to be a very interesting conversation from the speakers, because Matthew, you, Todd Neese, I believe, is speaking. If Chris and Alan, Chum with the Spirit speaking, and he's working on some more. Old Bart's has some amazing food and beer. He's got a couple of coffee vendors coming in to be able to go. I think it's going to blow up more than what he thinks.
Betsy will be there. That's right, Betsy. I'm not even going to attempt to say her name right now, even though by the time she will be my next guest, you will be seeing her the following week after this episode. She's scheduled to come in on Thursday. She's an author. She and Matthew met at the Paracon over the weekend.
Oh, nice.
And she is going to be a guest speaker. Cryptids of the Corn are coming down.
Oh, that's right. That was the easy one. I totally forgot that they're.
And then
they're kind of like the little glue that kind of pulled a whole bunch of people around to get people rolling.
Yeah.
Justin and Jay, love those
Dan
guys.
from the Cryptid podcast will be a speaker. So, yeah, there's going to be a lot of new and interesting speakers.
But I mean, at some point, we're going to have to start talking about a podcast convention. I mean, we're getting a large network of affiliates of other podcast groups, and that the dudes from the internet that you're affiliated with, the group on Facebook. We have 360 Radio. A lot of us have shows on that. So if you're watching this, if you halfway like what we're saying, we have a large group of friends. Check out YouTube. You'll see our links down below of all the friends we have. I have been so blessed with the people I have met this year and a half. The camaraderie, the willingness to support everybody, and as water rise, we all rise with it. And just amazing people. Ashley and Craig or Daniel. I have Pin Paranormal's Ashley and Craig. There's like 15 Ashleys out there. I'm looking forward to meeting them at some time soon. They just happen to be in Georgia. You got to spend a little bit of time with them.
Yeah.
So I've already told her I'm willing to do an opening act for when she hits it big. She's knocking it out of the park.
She is doing great. Must be nice to be able to stay home and do it, though. I'm just saying. And she admits it. She she's got a lot more time to do this stuff than we do.
She might be slightly more talented too. Her TikToks are
better looking, I can tell you that.
Yeah, well, that's.
I mean, look at us. Yes, I have to put on a fake mullet just for people to look at me.
Well, you take it off, they don't recognize you. They're like, "Who are you?"
That's true.
But
I had a dream about that the other night. I was running from the police, and the whole time, but it wasn't a fake mullet. It was a fake beard. And I had it on underneath, like, I don't know how. I had this fake beard on underneath my goatee. And it was like glued on, like up underneath and around, up here. And as I'm running from the police, like the glue came loose. And then it was like Grand Theft Auto. Like all the cops just started like finding me and chasing me because the beard fell off. I don't even know what I did wrong. I just remember I was getting chased by the cops.
Maybe you need to have a dream or was it hypnosis regression to find out what.
Right.
Maybe you're abducted and the aliens are trying to cover their kidnapping story.
Or I told Mr. E that today during his live, he was talking about a weird dream that he had. Maybe it is withdrawal symptoms from there not being any chemtrails in the sky since the government shut down.
Ooh, that is interesting. I just saw some chemtrails today, though.
Did you? I haven't seen them in a while. But I will say I have asthma. Ever since the government shut down, I breathe so much better. And maybe it's just because there's not so much bullshit in the air. But whatever.
Never know. I mean,
less regulation. They're regulating my air.
Definitely regulates some of my blood pressure.
Right. We got way off topic now.
Yeah, let's swing back to evidence. So as we were trying to update our website about monthly as we get through, like I said, we still have 20 plus hours, if not more, of evidence, and we're continue collecting more. And a lot of the stuff we run through Tommy McClear with Spectral, was it Beast?
Spectre and Beast.
Spectre and Beast 911. I still think it should be 411, because they're bringing the information.
That's true.
But the 911 just launched. I got to do a shout out to Timothy Wayne Williams, the painter. I just purchased another one of his paintings. Um, I'm in New Orleans, and he just did that the Kraken and the pirate ship, and I'm like, you know what? That's going to go right, look great right next to the waves and the sea monster. So, and I'm looking forward to whenever he's going to release his next episode of him painting on YouTube. I've enjoyed that. Like I said, the people I met doing this, you hopped on like the first time. It was like you'd known us forever. When we made it better had you been able to be there in person.
Yeah. I mean, I had talked to you and I'd talked to OG, but I had not talked to Larry until that day. And yeah, I let him have it.
Oh yeah, he is the heart of the show. He does most of the editing. He's been doing, like, if you see social posts that are 2 or 3 pictures or a video, that's usually me. If it is a long 2.5 paragraph story, that is Larry. But I love the guy, like brother. He's watching him and Justin talk after, because they did the live on the biological UFOs, and we went back to Matthews to the tavern and kicked back, and that was kind of surreal to sit there with Todd Neese there with us, and me and Matthew are sitting down having some whiskey and seeing Jay, Justin, Tony. I mean, everybody just having multiple conversations about everything. That was kind of surreal to have that many like-minded, just knowledgeable people. Like, I mean, all the theories and all that. Because like Larry's is biological. He does vaccines for animals. Justin is he's plants and animals as well. So they were having an amazing conversation. And then Jay just hops in wherever. Jay, I enjoy hanging out with Jay. Todd, with his knowledge of doing Bigfoot research for, he's probably going 30 years now, come to think of it.
His sighting was in 91 or 92.
Yeah. It's the year I graduated, 92, so I'm old. Still going around.
That thumping in your room?
That was a door outside.
Okay.
No one's gonna spill my beer this time.
You just take thumping with you everywhere you go, and every hotel room.
It's paranormal. It just, you can't get away from it. Just don't investigate your own house. Always investigate your friend's house.
Right. You don't want to open up anything in your own house. Yeah, I agree with you. The first people I met was Alan and Chris from Nevermore Hollows, and they're the ones that convinced me to start the podcast. They introduced me to Matthew, and then it was just it's been a snowball effect ever since. Just meeting all these really cool people. You guys. I mean, you're all right. But yeah, and we do have kind of this little network where, I may know some people, then some people, but we can pull them all together, and it would be cool to do just like podcast fest or whatever.
Yeah.
People come and just see their favorite podcasters.
Well, and just to be, to have everybody in one location, because there's also, a lot of the people that we interviewed would probably be very interested because like you guys interview remotely most of the time, to be able to have them be able to show up meet other podcast groups that might want to talk to them, have that type of network capability. Like I said, I have a bunch of paranormal friends that they're investigators, and they're now getting into not podcasts, but doing interviews on podcasts based off of their experiences. And that, to have a place that you can go and you kind of meet everybody that's in this paranormal cryptid UFO realm, and be able to talk to investigators with their evidence. You know, we have a great group of friends, Travelers Moon. They've been all over. Darkwood does investigations as well. In Kansas City, there's a Creeps. They just started a podcast. They have 15 years of investigations. They have tons of evidence. So yeah, that's something we need to kind of throw out there and start talking about it. Find a central location, or Kansas City's pretty central, and we have a lot of hotels. But if there's someplace better for everybody else, because it would be nice to be able to get everybody together for a good 3 to 4 days, and you know just be able to hang out, talk, do tech tips, like like you've really kind of figured out the Riverside lives. You're still the TikTok king. You got more followers than, but they've gotten really restrictive. Have you moved over to Lemonade?
You can't do anything over there.
Uh,
It's supposed to be an alternative, but it's owned by the same company. And last time I checked, you can't do lives on there. So
Are you on Rumble now? Have you
I
hopped on
have an
Rumble?
account. I have not started uploading.
I believe we're one of the people that kind of pushed you and Matthew, Drunk Encrypted, to start doing more video. I mean, it's a shame to hide
I've
that
always
pretty
done
face of
video.
yours. Full episodes? I thought you were doing. I didn't know if you did videos early on.
I've always done
You've always
video.
done videos.
Yeah.
I know
Yep.
Matthew wasn't.
Matthew was not. I started out, I was just uploading my lives as video. And then when I started doing the one-on-ones, the first one I did was with Matthew, and that was audio only. But the
I
second,
may just be catching all your audios. Because you
well, it
post
depends on
both.
where you're listening.
YouTube's
Because,
where I usually go to, but I know you post a video and an audio.
yeah. Well, that's because my RSS feed comes from Spotify over to YouTube as well. It's because Spotify or YouTube is trying to get into the podcasting realm. So, you can go on and just listen to podcasts. So they use your RSS for that. It is what it is. Whatever. It gets put up there twice. Whatever. The views count both ways, so that's all I care about.
That's a fair statement. And then I think we're on the verge of, as streaming services are starting to die. Chip Coffee actually kind of brought that up. Shoot, probably about 2 or 3 months ago, he made a big post on Facebook talking about how the ghost shows are pretty much done on TV. He's not getting the invites and all that. There's only like 1 to 2, and they're affiliated with each other. I think what's happening, because I told him, I think we're just evolving. You're going to see more stuff on YouTube or independent stuff. That's where people are going, podcasts and all that, because it's easier. You don't have to have this
Or
big production.
or it's just people don't trust the big media companies anymore. Because they know that they're just out for a dollar. So with the AI and the production values and stuff like that they can pump into it, can you trust that what you're seeing is real? Whereas on YouTube, it's guys like you and I that don't have these deep pockets to do,
Yeah.
special effects and stuff like that. You're seeing real video.
But
That's my
yeah,
opinion.
it's going to be interesting to see what's going on in 5 years from now. I mean,
Yeah.
we're barely not even 2 years in. So then, like I said, it's amazing how fast this is going. How many people we
At the time of this recording, I am 1 month from my. So, my first episode that is now back up on YouTube is my live when I talked about the thing, the rake, whatever you want to call it. That incident happened November 30th. So it had been December 1st is when I basically launched my live last year, or launched my podcast last year. So we're coming up, as of this recording, we're about a month away from my 1 year anniversary.
Yeah, our first. Trying to see if I can see. Was 1 year ago. Was the Black Eyed? Trying to think when.
If you go to your info, it'll show you when you created the channel.
So that's a little. Our channel was actually created before. That was part of the other podcast, or not podcast, but investigation group,
Gotcha.
Paradigm Productions. But we cleaned all our videos off that was there, and just kind of started new. I thought it used to, yeah, June 21st, 2024 is when we launched our first video of us on the couch, and it was horrible. The
So
audio's,
you're almost a month or a year and a half in.
yeah.
That's good.
Yeah, keep in mind, we've been together off and on different things for almost 10 years now, like the investigations, and we tried documentaries, and then, we did some investigations. And then COVID kind of rolled it all in. And then, like, might as well we tried filming it. Oh, and there's, did I ever send you our blooper reel
From
from? So we did a blooper reel for the our 15K party. I'll have to upload that for you. It's Parachum Larry put it together. It's pretty funny. And we
I
got
like me
plenty
some
more.
blooper reels. I was doing bloopers in some of my episodes. I was putting them in at the end, like when I was trying to do my intros. I never got any feedback on them, whether people liked them or not, so I just stopped doing them.
You should just do a just sub channel of myth monsters and mess ups.
There you go. I like
Yeah,
that.
that's half the hotel time.
Right.
Like I said, you and Matthew need to do a trailer park edition. Drunken Cryptids and Myth Monsters and Mullets trailer park
Yeah,
edition.
we're talking about that.
Don't talk, just do it. It's
I
not like
know.
you don't have the equipment. Just it's
I
when
got the
when
equipment. It's the time. I'm a very busy man.
Yes, you are. You're well, and so is he. He's booked out to the end of the year as well. You guys are. We luck out that we just get to be free from that because we're horrible at interviewing over cameras. I mean, Tommy and Nicole's hilarious, but that interview, we are looking at trying to get more interviews in person. We're just trying to figure out the best way to get that done because we love talking with people and we like interviewing, but that's unfortunately our channel doesn't grow very fast when we do interviews across video. And I think a lot of that's because there's three of us. We have very good chemistry together when we talk, and we throw somebody else in. It's a lot even flow versus the delay that video normally does. Like we will always want you on our show live to be able to interact. I think that would be a blast. It's one of the few things that, there are sometimes that, I just want the full method camp. We may not have to do anything with the Bigfoot, but the whole method camp and just having a good time and great conversations,
Yeah. Yeah, I need to do more comedy videos, but I am so freaking busy, dude.
That's a
So
great thing
busy.
though. I mean, because you're growing your channel.
Yeah.
I mean, how many people? What 20 people bought your mullets from Ohio Bigfoot Jamboree?
I forget. It was
I,
it
I'm
was
gonna
it was
I'm gonna
about
get some
there.
special patented ear protection for my next time I'm out there. Chum with the Spirits ear protections for generators. I'm
Yeah,
never
I
gonna
don't
let.
think I don't think you'll have that problem next year.
Oh no, I know we won't, but I can't let Parachum live that down. Executive decisions. That remind, I should order some and send them to him. Hey, by the way, here's
That's a good
special
idea.
or a sticker on it. Chum with the Spirits ear protections for any new jamborees going on. But that was such a blast to be there and see everybody, and what Jay and Justin have put together for Ada. I was really neat. Matthew is trying to do very similar. I hope you do something similar because we're going to try to do something as well. And they've always offered to do live podcasts with us. We just got to figure out time. It's one of those weird things. Like when I was talking with Matthew about the festival he's getting ready to put on, I'm like, one of the things I realize now is don't undersell yourself. Like the amount of people that show up, like we thought we'd have maybe 15 to 20 people, and half of them would have been, family. And we had 40, and we didn't do any advertising. We're like, had we advertised, we wouldn't have had room.
Right.
And so we're already looking for bigger locations. Like like they had, that park's beautiful. There's plenty of room to grow for 2 or 3 more years. It's not a bad location. It's easy to get to.
Yeah.
Multiple airports can fly in. So
Yeah.
like I said, like when you start wanting to do one yourself or figure something out, let us know, because we if you ever want to do a live event near where you're at, let me know. If we can't get all 3 of us, if anything, I'll be out there and do a solo show for you. It's okay.
Right. I appreciate it.
Shuffle.
I tell you what, if I do ever put on an event, that is going to be something that's going to happen. It's going to be, truffle shuffle
Contest. Who can do the best?
contest.
I still, you've now been up in the area up by Vancouver and Portland.
Mm-hmm.
That would be maybe not next year, but that would be one that, if you take Becca, I would meet you up there for that one, just to go to Ape Canyon, do the Sierra Sounds in that valley, and see who can run the fastest when things start moving.
I don't know if you've ever met me, but running is not. That's like a 4-letter word for me.
But you can stand your ground. I mean,
that's my only option.
Just when you think about that, look at that picture of you and Brian.
Right.
and think about that. He was like, it was at least 2
add
foot
2
taller.
feet to that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I still, that is a favorite picture of mine of you guys. Like when I took it, I didn't even really look at it until when I sent it to you, I was like, oh yeah, he looks like a toddler next to him.
I did.
Yeah. Well, you're about the same size. You're like 6'2", I'm 6'1", 200 some pounds. Brian's 6'8".
Yeah.
You're 3. And like he makes everybody a great guy, a great conversationalist, wealth of knowledge on cryptids, paranormal theories. Always, I'm looking forward to more conversations with him. He's up in your neck of the woods in Cleveland, Ohio.
Right.
Which I hopefully I got to talk to him about the Ohio Bigfoot Jamboree. Of course, he was there with us in our tent. I'm hoping to get him set up with his own if they expand the number of vendors. Like I said, we're always looking for collaborations and helping other podcasters out. We have a ton of equipment. If you let us know if you want to do a paranormal investigation in the area that you already done, that's always an offer to you. We can bring out
we
the
could
camera
do that.
system and on.
We
Film
could
you
do
running.
a collaboration. We could do an episode from the Randolph County Infirmary.
Yeah. Also go to Tar Hollow.
We could do that too.
There are some neat, interesting areas. Ohio Mansfield, that is a beautiful penitentiary, or wherever you call that. I managed to go up there and see that location. That one I can believe is active. But
Yeah.
yawn too many more times, I'm gonna have to go. You getting a little tired there, John?
Oh, I am. I am so tired today, and I apologize.
Oh, don't worry about it.
Like
I'm giving you
I
a
think
hard time.
I've muted my mic like 3 times just to yawn.
But I appreciate the opportunity to come on a world-renowned show like this and
World
talk about my
renowned. We
you're
were doing our live the other night, with myself and John Turley. We did get a comment from India, so we were around the world at that point.
just saying you're the number one paranormal podcast with cryptids with a mullet on. I mean, I don't know anybody else that can top your numbers with a mullet.
That's right. That's right.
It's like
That's
we're
it.
the number one Midwest paranormal podcast with a shark logo.
Right. I'm getting ready to go on Don't Whistle at Night podcast. I'm doing a live with them, and he asked for a selfie and a bio, and I put in there, number one paranormal podcast where the host wears a fake mullet in Central Indiana.
I got mine from Justin. Justin's the one that introduced me when I went and did the interview with him when I first met him at eight. Well, when I came and visited him in Ada, that's how he launched. Chum with the Spirits, number one paranormal podcast Midwest with the shark logo, and I was like, "Oh, you're absolutely."
Yeah. Yeah. All right, JD, why don't you tell everybody once again where they can find Chumming with the Spirits?
You can find Channel with Spirits. Our main channel is YouTube. You can find us on Rumble, Spotify, Apple Music, Amazon Music. Our website is cwtspodcast.com. That is where the videos that I just showed earlier on for our evidence, our merch is on there. Contact information there if you want to give us suggestions for drinks, episodes, contact us about an interview. Like I said, look at our friends down below on the YouTube channel because you find amazing people like Myth Monsters and Mullets, Trucking Cryptids, Cryptids of the Corn, Dark Woods Paranormal, Creeps, Ghost Gossip, and
Nevermore Hollows.
Paranormal, Cryptid Paranormal, Brian Goddard.
Paranormal. Yep.
And we're adding to that every chance we can get to help shout out all the people that we have met and have collabed with us. Let us know what we can do, what episodes you liked, subscribe, comment. Also, we're always looking for new comments on, hey, this might be an interesting idea, or hey, there's this other podcast group that you may like. Where can we find you at, John?
Right where you're listening to me at this point. Because if you're watching this episode, you've already found Miss Monsters and Mullets.
You hope.
Well, I mean,
Yeah.
I'm not sure how they would be listening to this part of this interview unless they've
This
already
part,
found
yeah.
Miss Monsters and Mullets. I'm just saying.
It is always a pleasure to hang out and talk to you, John. Tell Becca I said hi. Hope to see you guys soon, hopefully before Arkansas. It's always great to be able to catch up and talk about theories and all that. We still haven't done our Nephilim episode
I
yet.
know.
I'm holding off on that one. I'm talking about them here and there, but that's going to be a good one.
Yeah. I told you, all month of December, I am open.
If I find out that I got a week coming up, I may have to tell Larry Parachum himself, you got to drive up for a weekend, see if we can get OP. But
I mean,
it's not
even if
that bad of a
you
drive.
want to do a remote one, we can do a remote one.
I don't want to cheapen the experience with you and degrade our quality because I know how good it would be. Maybe that just has to be a greasy pickle topic. We just need a greasy pickle and talk about Nephilims and where we can go from there.
Well, if you find out when you're going to be up here, I can contact them and see if we can at least use the patio. It gets kind of loud in there. In
the
that
infamous
one room.
outdoor patio.
The ceilings are real tall in that, so it gets kind of loud. But,
But
you know,
it
if we
also
could at
is
least
going to
use
be
the
December.
patio.
How cold is it going to be outside?
That's true. It's
I
true.
mean, it means we'll talk faster.
And it depends on what time of day too. They wouldn't be as busy, you know, at say 5 o'clock.
That's true.
So
I'm sure we can get something figured out. I'm
yeah.
always up for a collaboration with such a great podcast as yourself.
Me too. I'm
Mhm.
always up for a good collab with a podcast as great as myself.
It's fair statement.
They always say modesty is my best trait.
I always thought it was the mullet. That was just me.
Oh, well, maybe I thought they were spelled the same. Are they homonyms or whatever those are called?
I've heard it both ways.
All right, JD, thanks again for coming on. And if you've had a paranormal encounter you'd like to share, you can email me at missandmullis@gmail.com. Make sure you're liking, subscribing, commenting, and sharing. Make sure you're following Chumming with the Spirits. Till next time, talk to you later.
Be safe.
Gotta go.
Shadow in the pines, lurking in the dusky air. Bigfoot stomps through the woods like he don't care. Lights in the sky flash green then blue. Aliens descending with a secret or two. Whispers in the breeze, cold fingers down your spine.